Hey, it's Kelly. Hey, just wanted to kind of post another video here, kind of talking about the past and related to mental health, because I think it's important to kind of, kind of address a couple of things. First and foremost, we hear a lot of times that, forgiving others for what they have done to us, lifts the burden off of our shoulders, right? But that's not necessarily true. Because a lot of times, at least for me, what I found is that it wasn't so much forgiving them, because there was also this sense of I allowed it to happen to myself, and I kind of blame myself. And what I found was that until I learned to forgive myself and until I learned to stop blaming myself for allowing it to happen, that burden was never lifted. So it really is that forgiving yourself and stop blaming yourself for letting it happen, or stop blaming yourself for it happening, that burden finally gets lifted. So that's kind of the first point I wanted to bring up. Because it's important to understand that, especially if you've spent a life in abuse, especially emotional, physical abuse. um, we kind of get to that point where it's probably my fault. Well, I must have done something to cause this. And no, you didn't. Especially as a child, no child deserves any of that. And let's face it, we're all human. We make mistakes, and nobody deserves to be treated that way. So forgive yourself, and realize it's not your fault. No one ever deserves to be treated that way. Give yourself some grace. All right, let it go, and you'll find that you start to heal. All right. The other thing, and this is something I wrote not too long ago on Facebook, and I think it's important. I really do. I'm going to read a verbatim for you. So I've come to terms with my past and will no longer allow it to control me. I cannot change it, so let it go. The good, the bad, the indifferent have no impact other than to be lessons on how to be the best version of myself I can possibly be. I choose to focus on today because that is all I have control of. Within that, I take the negative as opportunities to grow and learn and cherish the positive. I'm sorry, uh, to grow and learn and to cherish the positive, excuse me. To do otherwise is to destroy myself. And it's so true. If we focus on the negative, we're just destroying ourselves. You know, the negative is going to happen. It is. There's always going to be something negative in life. Just take it as a learning experience. I make mistakes all the time. I do. I talk all the time without thinking, and I say stupid stuff all the time. And you know what? It's just a learning opportunity. I'm getting better at it, and I'm learning from it. And that's part of that learning opportunity is learning to, maybe turn on that filter between my mind and my mouth sometimes. But I don't have to dwell on it because it doesn't necessarily define who I am. you know and there's a lot of good that happens, and I'm finding that because I focus less on the negative that happens, there's a far more good that happens than there is negative, because I choose to focus on it. And it's important to do that. And again, you can't change the past. There's nothing you can do about the past. You can either focus on the negative and be miserable, or you can use what happened in the past, the negative in the past, to learn, grow, become a better person, and treat other people better because of it. It really is about taking the focus off yourself and putting the focus on others. Because what happens when you do that is, first and foremost, you learn. You learn about other people, you learn how to deal with other people, but you also learn about yourself. By taking the emphasis off of me, I have learned about myself. I've learned a lot about other people. I've learned how to be a better person, how to be more empathetic, how to be more compassionate, how to be more caring. And that's important. Um, I've just learned to be calm. Um, Now I feel like I've become a better person from it. By focusing other people too, I've learned how to handle my own issues. When something negative happens, I'm able to better deal with it because I see what's going on in other people's lives, and I've learned from their experiences too. And it's important to do that. You know, it's it just makes me a better member of society, and I think that's hopefully what we all strive for is just to be better human beings. Um, yeah, it's it's amazing, and one thing I've learned through my spiritual quest is that you know I have to stop. Obviously there's situations where things happen that we have to act immediately, but the other thing I've learned to do is just stop and actually think about what is happening. Instead of, because I used to be the type of person that something happened, something was said, and immediately I responded. And I don't have to. I can actually stop and take a moment to actually think about what's really going on. What's really going on, not what I first perceive it to be. Because my initial reactions are related to my traumas, and I know that. I learned that. And I can't respond based upon my traumas. I have to be able to respond upon what is really happening. So it's that ability to pause that's important, because without that, I may having a response that is completely different than what is really going on based upon what, you know, my initial emotion is. So taking that, even just a brief moment to stop and really think, has made a difference in my life. It wasn't easy. It's not easy to do that, especially if you spend a life in trauma. I mean, it becomes kind of our defensive mechanism, and to change that is a lot of work. It really is, and I understand that. And I don't expect anybody to be able to. Oh, okay, well, I'm just going to immediately do that. It can't. You can't. It takes time. It takes effort, but it's worth it, because what you find is that you know a lot of people also respond out of trauma in their lives, or they say things based out of trauma in their lives. I think it's kind of natural that something occurs, or we even see something that's pretty innate, and we make a comment, and we don't necessarily mean it the way it comes out, but based upon our life experiences we say things, and based on the audience present, it could be taken the wrong way. And if we just take that brief moment to, think about, first of all, who is saying it and the circumstance under which it's said, we may come to realize that, okay, it's not what I initially thought. And let's face it, in today's society, I mean, man, we're all just so hurried. Everything today is just, we feel so rushed. And it's, I mean, unfortunately, let's face it, we live in a very selfish society too. And unfortunately, people don't listen to listen, they listen to respond. And, it's unfortunate, because this is a quote that I have, that I wrote, that one of the highest forms of respect you can show another human being is to listen without intent to respond. And I know that's hard in today's society, and I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I as soon as somebody starts to talk, I'm thinking of my response, and as a society, we got to stop doing that. We got to actually listen to what people are saying, because once we're already forming a response, we're not really listening. Our bias tends to set in then, and we don't listen to everything that's being said. So it's important to actually listen, and again, that helps to take our trauma out of it, because it's true, we respond based upon our traumas, based on our life experiences, and it's not necessarily the right response based upon what is being posed to us. So just some thoughts that I wanted to put out there today. Take it for what it's worth. Again, this whole channel is just me being middle-aged, kind of. I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of therapy. I feel like I'm getting my life in order, and I want to be, supportive to other people, and I want to put stuff out there. And again, I welcome your feedback. I welcome your comments. If there's subjects you want me to cover, if there's things you want me to talk about, I'm more than happy to do it. Again, I'm going to flay myself open. I'm going to get, into more of my past, and I'm going to be raw about a lot of things in my life, and I'll be open and honest about it. You're going to find that I'm a pretty positive person. I try to be, because why be negative? It just brings me down, and I want a good life. So, yeah. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, please. Reach out if you need help. Remember, 988. Talk, please. Just talk. Open up. Don't be afraid to open up. Get the help you need. All right. Take care.